So the patty cake sample was actually originally for the Pluto Baby Pluto project for Future and Uzi. And then I guess, just didn't make the cut. Hey, I'm Thelabcook. This is how I made the beat for Patty Cake for Quavo Takeoff. So I do remember the first beat I made. I didn't even have my own laptop at the time, I think, but I managed to get FL Studio on there. I couldn't form a full beat like I did. I just didn't know placements of drums or anything like that. So that took a little bit of time just to figure out. Working with Quavo Takeoff has been a real full circle moment for me, like as far as being inspired by them back in the day. And I think them being nominated for Best Duo is long overdue. It's definitely an iconic duo, making some of the most influential music of our time. All right, so now we're gonna break down the sample for Patty Cake. So first I started out with this brass. And there's a second layer to that. I put underneath, just something to give it some extra body. The preset's called Trumpet Fields, nice and steady. It sounds a little bit out of tune. Almost sounds like it was recorded by, like a high school band. So the next sound I added was acoustic guitar from Mellotron. It's subtly in there, but you can, if you listen closely, you can hear it. There's a couple more lead notes in that progression, just to give it some variation. This is probably the standout part, is the pizzicato. Just something that follows the same chord progression as the chords, like the brass parts. And that goes like this. So for that sound as well, I felt like the transients were a little harsh, so I just tapered that off with some tiny bit of compression. Then I used Pan Man, so a panning plugin just to have the sound moving around your ears. And I just took some of the bass frequencies out, boosted the highs a little bit to make it pop out a little more. So then to give that section a little more flow, I also added some staccato strings. That goes like this. For that sound, give it a little warmer feeling with some RC20. RC20 is just it's a tape emulation plugin, so it's trying to emulate what it would sound like coming through like a tape machine. For this next section, same as the intro with the two brass sections playing. Took those same chord progressions. For this, I added a trombone. It's subtly in there. It's very quiet, but just adds a little bit of punch and complements the other progressions as well. It goes like this. So I did the trombone and then added one more brass element to that, and that goes like this. It's coming together. This is how it sounds so far. So that pretty much wraps up the melody, and then I passed it to Darrell. He laid down the drums, and that's kind of where the magic happens. His sound selection was really good on that song. It's got some nice heavy tones to it, just something that really punches and complements the overall sound of the sample, just the overall theme, just very in your face and thematic. My advice for producers now is just utilize the tools you have now. Like, there's so many outlets to get your music out there. Obviously, there's more people doing it now. There's room for everyone, I think. Really just hone in on your craft. Take that extra time. There's no magic plugins, or there's no one thing that's gonna make everything the best for you. It's just about learning everything that you have at your disposal.